My name is Damien, born and raised in New York City. If the city teaches you anything, it's that weakness gets eaten alive. You learn to fight for your place, to sharpen yourself into something the world can't break. That's what I did. That's why I went into corporate law. Victory isn't about truth here. It's about power, leverage, who can twist the blade the cleanest. And I've built my life on never losing. Elizabeth was the first person who made me question that. She was flawless in ways that infuriated me. Brilliant, bold, with a kind of beauty that demanded attention and a sharpness that kept you at a distance. She worked in my brother's firm, and from the very start we collided like two storms. She never flinched, never yielded. Every argument was a war, every glance a challenge. She treated me not like the man I was, but like the enemy she decided I had to be. And maybe I welcomed it. Maybe I needed someone who wouldn't bend. But I'd be lying if I said it was only hate. Because hate doesn't make your pulse race when her voice cuts across a room. Hate doesn't make you restless at night, replaying every word she threw at you. Hate doesn't leave you standing too close, staring too long. The line between us blurred before I even realized it. Hate, desire. The city's storm was inside us both. And I already knew, if I wasn't careful, Elizabeth wouldn't just challenge me. She would ruin me. Our battles became legend in the office. People whispered about us, waiting for sparks, for fire, for blood. Elizabeth thrived on it. She had this way of sharpening her words until they cut deeper than any knife. And I sharpened mine right back. It was a game we played, pretending the stakes were only pride, pretending it wasn't something more. One night changed everything. The office was empty, city lights glowing through the rain-streaked windows. I stayed late to finish a case brief. She was there too, poring over files, refusing to leave before me. That was us, always pushing and always proving. It started like every other fight. She accused me of undercutting her strategy. I accused her of stealing credit. Voices clashed, sharp and furious, until the silence after seemed heavier than the words themselves. She was so close, closer than she should have been. Her breath brushed mine, her chest rising quick, her eyes locked on me like a dare. I should have stepped back, but I didn't. Instead, I leaned in. The storm outside rattled the glass, but the real storm was in her eyes. She whispered it then, soft and trembling, "I hate you." But her voice betrayed her. It wasn't steady. It wasn't cold. It was burning. I knew what I should do, walk away and keep my distance. But I didn't, because in that moment, I finally understood. Hate and desire weren't opposites. They were the same fire, and Elizabeth had already set me ablaze. We swore it was nothing, a mistake, just heat and anger colliding in one reckless moment. That's what we told ourselves the morning after, when the tension still lingered like smoke in the air. But words are easy. Lies are easy. What we felt wasn't. The boundaries shattered faster than either of us expected. It started small, too small to notice at first. A brush of her hand against mine in the hallway. A glance that lingered too long during a meeting. The way her lips parted when I leaned too close, like she was holding back something she didn't dare say. Then came the stolen moments. A kiss in the stairwell, hidden in the shadows, desperate and hungry. A lingering touch at a crowded gala, when everyone's eyes were on my brother and none on us. Whispered words at midnight, confessions neither of us had the strength to swallow. Elizabeth wasn't just the woman I argued with anymore. She was the woman I craved, the woman who haunted me, the woman who made me question everything I thought I was. But she wasn't mine. Not really. She belonged to another world, my brother's world. And every second we gave in, every kiss, every touch, was a betrayal that threatened to burn us both alive. Still, I couldn't stop. I didn't want to, because when she was in my arms, the hate melted away. All that remained was desire, wild and unforgiving. And I'd rather be ruined by it than live without it. Loving Elizabeth felt like living two lives at once. By day, we were enemies. Our voices sharp, our arguments ruthless, our distance carefully performed for the world. But by night, we were fire, We were everything we weren't supposed to be. The danger was part of the addiction. Every time she slipped into my apartment after midnight, every time I pressed her against the wall and tasted her lips, I knew we were risking everything. And yet I couldn't stop. Neither of us could. We told ourselves lies to survive. That no one would notice. That it wasn't hurting anyone. That it wasn't betrayal if it stayed hidden. But the truth clawed at us. My brother's trust. The firm's reputation. Her own name. Still, when we were alone, none of it mattered. She wasn't my enemy anymore. She wasn't his fiancée. She was just Elizabeth, the woman who could tear me apart with a word, and the only one who could bring me to my knees with a touch. But the walls we built around our secret were cracking. I saw it in the way my brother's eyes lingered too long when he caught us standing too close. I felt it in the tension of rooms that went too quiet when she entered after me. Secrets never stay buried in this city, and ours was a ticking bomb, ready to destroy everything in its path. The truth always finds its way out. I should have known that, but knowing didn't make the fall any softer. It started with a slip, Elizabeth's perfume lingering on my jacket when I came to the firm. My brother's eyes narrowed, suspicion flashing across his face. Then the late nights, the stolen hours, the excuses that no longer sounded believable. The lies we crafted with shaking hands began to unravel. The night it all exploded is burned into me. My brother stormed into my apartment uninvited, fury carved into every line of his face. Elizabeth was there. She froze when he entered, her hand still in mine, our secret written across our bodies in ways we couldn't erase. You! His voice was raw, disbelief twisting into rage. With him, Elizabeth tried to speak, but the words tangled in her throat. I stepped forward, instinctively, ready to shield her. But there was no protection from this. Not anymore. He didn't stay long. He didn't have to. The damage was already done. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife. Brother against brother, love against loyalty. When the door slammed behind him, silence crashed around us. Elizabeth's eyes glistened with tears, her breath shallow, trembling. I reached for her, but she pulled back, guilt clawing at her like chains. "We've destroyed everything," she whispered. Maybe she was right. Maybe love that begins in fire can only end in ashes. But as I looked at her, I knew one thing. Even if it cost me everything, my brother, my career, my name, I just couldn't let her go. After the betrayal, the world turned colder. My brother wouldn't look at me. The firm froze me out, whispers slicing through every hallway. Elizabeth became both my curse and my salvation, my reason for ruin, and the only thing that kept me alive. We tried to end it. God knows we tried. Weeks passed where we didn't see each other, where we forced ourselves into silence. But love, real, forbidden, consuming love, doesn't vanish just because it should. The night she came back to me, the city was drenched in rain. She stood outside my door, soaked through, trembling, eyes burning with everything she tried to bury. I didn't ask why. I didn't need to. I just pulled her inside, and when her lips met mine, the world shattered again. "We can't keep doing this," she whispered against my skin. "We can't stop," I answered, and it was the truth. Whatever we were, wrong, reckless, doomed, we couldn't undo it. We couldn't erase it. Hate had bound us once, but love had broken us open, and there was no going back. We were enemies who became lovers, lovers who became betrayers, betrayers who chose each other anyway. The city could hate us. My brother could despise me. The world could crumble beneath our feet. But when she was in my arms, none of it mattered. Elizabeth wasn't just my ruin. She was my redemption. And if the fire consumed us both, then so be it. If the story gripped you, if it made you feel the fire of hate turn into the ache of salvation, then don't let go just yet. More dark romance stories, full of betrayal, obsession, and dangerous love, drop here every week. Hit subscribe now, and let every new story pull you deeper into the shadows where love and ruin walk hand in hand. Until next time, keep listening, keep feeling, and never stop chasing the stories that haunt you.